sure our audio input is working. Always important. So you can actually hear the person talking. Goots indeed. Goots, goots, goots. Alright. Let's see here. I'm going to move this up here. It's out of the way a little bit. I look a little woolly today, so I'm not going to do the face cam. You can just imagine. I won't subject you to that. We got a couple of things we need to do today. So I figured I'd hop on stream and get them done anyway. And always good motivation to have to do it on camera, because then you actually have to be productive instead of just getting lost on social media or getting distracted with social media and that. Good times. Alright, let's do a little bit of self-promotion and then I will get going here. Talk about what I'm working on and then we will dive in. Alright, that's enough of that. Don't always toot my own horn, but I do want to every once in a while remind people that yes, I actually do have a horn on which to toot. So I'll just turn that picture off, and it just does not like my bitrate on here. Silly YouTube. It's like, you can stream at a higher bitrate, but we prefer you do one that's much, much less. Alright, well, no. Alright, so if you haven't already seen these ones, these are the Eternal Dynasty figures from One Page Rules. Slowly working on them. At least got the bases done. So it's going to refocus. Oh, there we go. The bases for them done. The two bigger bases are for these two guys, little drone turrets. So they'll go on the two bigger bases, and then the infantry. I have 11 infantry. I got 10 for the squad, and then the captain character with the banner. I wish they all had banners because those are awesome. We'll see how they come along. I like the yellow and the gold on the bases. I think that goes well. So that's one thing to work on. But my main goal for the day is to finish up the assault intercessors here. So I'm going to take these bases, put them over here. Bliss that comes from a messy hobby desk. Go back up again a little bit here. Okay, so we got some intercessors to finish up, some in various states of completion. These two are done. Looking good. This one is mostly done. So they got mixed up, and so now I have to. Wait. This one is done. This one is not done. So I've got 3 done and a bunch, about 75% done. So that's what I need to do today. I'm going to put these guys over here. Goots, goots, goots. These little guys printed off. with the very last bit of my resin. I'm out until resupply shows up. Everything from everything I've ordered from Amazon that was supposed to arrive this week has been delayed. I hope it wasn't on one of those trains that got derailed. We'll see. So I got 2 of them here. The third one got smashed. Actually, third and fourth one got smashed up in an unfortunate cat-related incident. So I'm probably going to end up just because I ended up losing quite a few of the parts because it wasn't cleaned up by me. It was cleaned up by somebody else, and so parts got lost and thrown away. And so what I'll probably end up doing is keeping these for spare parts and printing off new ones. Yeah, so that's a thing that happened. How's it going, Steven? Staying out of trouble? Get going here. Try not to be so slow to start, but you know, I got fish to fry. I got things, so many little things that need to be set up when you're streaming. Make sure that they function. Oh, the other cool thing I'm working on, might be kind of hard to show on the camera, but I'll grab it real quick. I'm working on a new photo box, so this will be in a video. Kind of a weird angle, but photo box for taking pictures. So right now I just did the kind of base coat for to be sprayed over, so I'll use a rattle can and do base coats with the rattle can. So right now it just has some texture on it and a base coat of hobby glue and paint, and I'll hit it over with several layers of primer and then go over it with the colors. But it looks kind of cool already with the red and the sand that I threw on there and the black. So that'll be something that can take pictures in. It'll look kind of like a cave or ruined concrete, some basement of an underhive or something. So that's kind of what I'm doing at night. Started doing it yesterday. I'll kind of work on it at night and get it done. Turn it into a video hopefully by Friday it'll be done. It'll be Friday's video. Oh, didn't quite work out. That's a shame. Did it just come out kind of looking blotchy, or I don't know what the... Oh, I should probably finish their backpacks too. Okay, so a few of them have their backpacks on already. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. All right, so might as well get some work done. I'll talk about work for 20 minutes and then not actually do anything. Probably overdid. It's possible. Or if your paints were maybe too thick, that sometimes could cause some problems. Alright, let's do some gold on these salamanders and hopefully get them done, because they've just been sitting on the desk for too long. Keep getting distracted. I'm like a dog chasing sticks in the park. I just keep finding new things to do. Like the I don't know if you saw the video with the fluorescent paints. These awesome scale 75 fluorescent paints. They came in the mail. I'm like, well, I can't just let it sit on the box sit on my desk and not do anything with it. So I printed off the new model from, and I keep forgetting the name of the person who did that, but the guy makes proxy models. Atreon. Piper makes. Who's making some really cool proxy models for, or models that just have that Tau aesthetic to them. So I saw that and like, too into mecha to resist this. So did the little Patreon. It's not too expensive, and so as soon as I do get that resin in, I'm gonna be able to print some of those models and shockingly increase my Tau army, which is something I hadn't done for years. Need to get one of those paint shakers. Yours fit you. The shaker works for anything you put on it. Yeah, so the size of the pot doesn't really matter. It's made for like test tubes. This actually came with it, so it's like an actual scientific doohickey. So pretty much anything you put on top of it's gonna shake. Let's do some belt buckles. Get something done today. Because it'd be super easy to just get distracted and respond to YouTube comments all day and hang out on social media and shit post. So let's not do that. I don't think that would be a good use of our time. Spend a little too much time promoting other people and not enough time building your own thing. Sometimes cause problems. We'll get these done and in the cabinet. I'm going to try them out. Maybe we'll get my son to play some Warhammer here this weekend. Take these guys out for a spin. Can fight some Gene Stealers or something. You did get the new codex for Gene Stealer Cult, so maybe I'll take the Gene Stealer Cult out of the case, dust them off, and throw them up onto the table for some fun. Must have cost a bit. Yeah, everything costing a little bit more these days, that's for sure. I jokingly told my son about there's a possible shortage of chicken nuggets, and it was like, this is where it finally hits home to him that there's not all is well in the world. The chicken nugget supply might be at risk. He was very distressed because that's really all he wants to eat is chicken nuggets. If we didn't make him other things, he would just eat those. But yeah, we all got through COVID. Well, I didn't get it, but everyone else in the house had COVID and made it through. Luckily for the two kids, it was light. The youngest was really only sick for a day, and then he had a fever for 3 or 4 days after that. But then after that, he was fine. Older child was knocked out for a couple of days, just kind of sitting in bed and watching videos, and was on his laptop for a couple of days, saying he felt pretty miserable. But then felt better. And then Mrs. McFrog had it the worst. She was out for, I think, 4 days, feeling pretty crummy, before she was able to get up and moving again. She had that croaky voice that you get that sounds like you've been smoking for 40 years for a couple of days. No one really had coughs, though, which is good. That's probably why I didn't get it. I think Mrs. Mechfrog got it because the first night when the little one was feeling unwell, he had a stomach ache, and he actually crawled into bed with next to her. So she was right in very close proximity in the night that he was probably the shedding virus like nobody's business. Yeah, so pretty much everyone's back to full health. The two kids are at school today, enjoying their immunity. I didn't get it though, so that's interesting. Like, because I didn't even really self-isolate and still didn't get it. Or if I did get it, I didn't show any signs of it. So I took one home test the same day that everybody else did their home test, and it came out negative, but I never had a fever. No cough, no fever, no sickness symptoms. So either I got it and it didn't bug me, or I somehow didn't get it even though the whole house was contaminated with it. So, who knows? We'll find out if I just didn't manage to not get it, and it sure looks like we're pretty much all going to get it eventually here, so we'll see. Best you can do is try to stay healthy and take your vitamins and be positive. Try not to lick any doorknobs. I'll do my best. I've heard people complain that they don't like painting the Aquila on Space Marines, but I don't mind it. Not that bad. Try to besides that, really just kind of putting the last little finishing touches on the remodel and keeping a low profile. It's not like we go out very much. I mean, just kind of, we're not big partiers, so just kind of hang out and play games and try to get the things done around the house we need to get done. Try to keep a steady hand here. We're counting our blessings. It's really what the most important thing in these past couple of years is kind of remembering all the good things we have and being appreciative of that. Or else it'd be really easy to get negative and say, well, this sucks. So somebody commenting on Twitter this morning talking about how easy it is to get in that negative mindset, and then of course social media just feeds, it rewards that negativity, and so it's really easy to let yourself get lost in it. Just constant million and one reasons to be unhappy, and a little bit more difficult to find reasons to be positive. We do what we can. helps to keep perspective about what's actually useful in like typing up a response to something, and you're like, this post, you're reading it, and you're like, you know it was designed to make you upset. So why spend the energy to get upset? It's not like it gets you anything. So sometimes I'll catch myself responding to basically a troll tweet and say, all right, wait, hold on. What's the purpose of this? Does it get me anything to respond, or am I much better off just moving on with my life and letting it go? And so oftentimes those tweets go unsent, and that's actually a good thing, because all it would do is cause drama, not get you anything. Like you rip into somebody who doesn't know you anyway, and they've got their 50,000 followers, or there's some journalist saying something stupid. It might feel good in the moment to rip into that person, but they're not going to see your tweet. There's already 50,000 there anyway. 50,000 people responding to their tweet, calling them dumb, and you're going to add one more to it. What's the purpose of that? So oftentimes, so I just stay out of it. Thank you, Mage Darren, for the weird link. Super helpful. So I'll just post silly frog and crab pictures instead, and that seems to work. But it'd be really easy to get lost in that all day and just play social media cheerleader all day and boost other people's stuff, and there's time for that, and that's awesome, but I'm going to do my own thing too. But the channel's been growing well, so I'm pretty positive about the prospects of kind of keeping it going. Like, I was super happy to make it over to hit the 600 sub mark, and then I kind of blew right past it in the last couple of weeks, up to 630 something now. So I'm trying not to obsess about it, but knowing that hopefully the stuff I'm producing is making people happy enough to hit so the subscribe button is a good thing. The YouTube shorts have helped a lot, though they are wildly inconsistent. Twitter for me is for art, music, GIF, pictures, animals. Well, good. That's probably for the best. I don't think I've ever heard anybody say, I'm really glad I got involved in Twitter politics on Twitter. It feels so much more, such a great feeling to get into a screaming matches with people who are borderline illiterate, but intensely passionate about their position and not willing to compromise. Alright, so those still need some black on them. Got those three mostly done. Oh boy, that's little details that got undone, didn't quite get done. Alright, let's see here. Let's pull you back in frame so you can actually be seen. Alright, let's do their shoulder pads. It'll feel like there's some accomplishment today if we can get the jump packs on. The power packs on. I keep saying jump packs. Shake it up, black paint. Shake it up. Somehow this one's backpack got on without even the black on it. Shoot. That's going to be a little bit more difficult. So I spilled some resin on my desk, and I got a little bit of the IPA to clean it up. You can see, like, oh wow, there is actually wood underneath all of the spilled paint. Nice. Should probably just go ahead and clean it with that. Probably look 100 times better. I don't know. There's some level of prestige in having a Mac desk that's just well seasoned with paint. So I don't know. Maybe we need to do a Twitter poll: clean desk or painty, messy desk. Claw. Yeah, the Twitter shorts are interesting because they either get no hits because they don't get dropped onto the Twitter short feed, or they get between 1,400 and 6,000 hits, but you don't have any idea which, and it has nothing to do with the quality and how much effort you put into them or the tags you use. It seems to be entirely random. So one I put up one day will do really well, and another one that has pretty much the same type of format will do nothing. So one will do well and one will be trash, and you can't predict it. It's a little frustrating because you want to keep doing what works and what people seem to enjoy, but it's hard to figure that out if the YouTube algorithm is fickle. There was one that did 6,000 views and a bunch of new subs, and that helped out a lot. So I'm just going to keep plugging away at it. It's a grind like anything else. Hopefully I can get into a position where I'm being unique enough to keep people around. Interesting enough to keep people around. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more naked one here. And this guy's. Well, my son's been helping me with the little shorts lately, setting him up and figuring out pictures and which mech dies. He likes making that choice. He's like, no, this one gets blown up next. This one. So that's been awesome. The younger one is definitely more into BattleTech than the older one. Though the older one he's playing through MechWarrior 5, though I don't think he's as enraptured by it as with some of his other games. But he's really into VR right now. So he plays a lot of VR games. So we just have to get BattleTech VR somehow. Which would be awesome, actually. You know what, a VR game where you play as an elemental and you're running across the battlefield, like jumping up and climbing up mechs, that would be really cool. Somebody call Microsoft. Let's do this. Whoever has the game rights for BattleTech now. If it's still Piranha, then I think Piranha's pretty much done with BattleTech now. With MechWarrior, anyway. I think they got moved over to some Lord of the Rings game, last I heard. So there won't be any more MechWarrior stuff from them. Who knows where the IP will go after that. A VR game we're playing as an elemental where you can fight infantry and climb up mechs and punch out cockpit windows. That would be pretty cool. I'd be definitely down for that. Yeah, do like an updated version of MechWarrior 2. That would be awesome. Or Mech... yeah. Throw in Ghost Bear's Legacy in there as well. Yeah. Remember, it's kind of quaint to think back, like how impressive those little things were. Like when we bought Ghost Bear, the Ghost Bear expansion, like, oh wow, they added trees to the game. Except the trees were like these gigantic posts with no branches. They just are like gigantic posts in the level that don't really look like trees at all from today's perspective. Definitely don't look like trees. But at the time it was like, oh wow, trees on the level. That's great. You're used to having just like desert landscape in your MechWarrior 2 levels. And of course, got a little better with each version of the game after that, 3 and 4 and 5. Of course, I think 5 maybe overdid it a little bit with the trees that somehow block laser bolts completely. Might have gone a little bit too far. Has humanity gone too far? Yes, probably. They are still a good game. Yeah, a good game is a good game. It doesn't matter the year. Like, I bet I could, if I still had a workable copy, I bet I could load up, like, Civilization 2 and be happy playing it. Because it wasn't really about the graphics. It was about the experience. There's always going to be those kind of comfort of life things that you would miss. Like I did replay when they re-released Command and Conquer. Yeah, it was a little frustrating when you're playing the original version of the game and there are things missing that they added later to just make the game a little bit easier to play. Not easier from a difficulty standpoint, but easier from a being able to click a certain way or zoom out or that kind of stuff. But a good game is a good game. Oh, TIE Fighter, yeah. I had a buddy who played way too much of that. Nice guy, one of my best friends. He's been my friend for a really long time. But when we were kids, he had the curious tendency to say, hey, let me show you this game. And so when you go over to his house, we'd sit down and he would show me the game, but I would never actually get to play it at any point. So between TIE Fighter and, what was the SNES game? I got Legend of the Mystical Ninja, which was this kind of a cutesy cartoon game where you... for some reason, it involved buying a lot of rolls, like egg rolls and stuff. Anyway, weird game, but I never got to play it, but I sure did have to sit and watch somebody else play it. Sorry, getting a drink. Gotta hydrate. But yeah, TIE Fighter and X-Wing versus TIE Fighter were games that I saw played a lot, but I didn't actually get to play very much because I didn't have it. By that point, I was spending a lot of money on pewter mechs anyway, so... Plus, by the time I was sitting watching other people play, or watching my friend play that all the time, I was kind of sick of it at the end anyway. Like, all right, fine, I'll just say that I've seen it and move on with my life. We're gonna get these backpacks glued on. What do you say? Oh wait, should we do the little? We gotta do the little cord. It's the details that matter. Just looking up TIE Fighter total conversion. Maybe I'll have to check that out. Yeah, definitely. The other game that I saw him play a lot, but didn't actually get to play. What was it? Wing Commander. Yeah, that was the other cool flight sim game that he had that I didn't, and I never really got to play, but saw him play quite a bit. What was I doing? Oh yeah, I was going to do the little things. We need a blue. Where's our blue? Oh, there we go. I'll do a little pretty blue on these cables just for a little detail. If you're squinting and looking in at the Marine, you might see the little cables. So we'll do one red and one blue. And then we can have the classic debate. Which wire do we cut? The red one or the green one? Or the blue one? I think I'm going to need new glasses here soon. Starting to get a little fuzzy. Squinting. Or I need to bust out the magnifying glass. What other classic games do I miss? What I'd love to see get a reboot is Commander Keen. That was one of the first shareware games that I ever played. And I played the heck out of that. It's probably the only real platformer game that I enjoyed on the PC. Oh, I miss shareware. I don't know if you're old enough to remember that, but there was even at the local mall, there was a shareware store where the owner of the store had gone through the effort of downloading and then burning copies of shareware titles on discs, so that in the store, really all the store was, on the walls were these hanging boxes of big floppy disks. The 1 point, no, not the 1 point, the big ones. Were they like 3 point something? But the big actual floppy disks that were black. And so you went in, you kind of looked around at the sections by utilities and games and all that. So you'd go and you pick it out, you pay your $3 for a disc, and go home and you install your shareware game and you get to play your level of whatever. Yeah, but those good times. I missed that. It's a different experience than just going onto Steam and just picking a game and downloading it. I know it's a lot easier, but the world that once was, it is no more. I try to explain that to an 11-year-old, 12-year-old, I guess, 12-year-old. He's like, why don't you just download it? We couldn't. There was no download. was no download. Okay, so you might be, you might actually be more seasoned than I am. C64. Yeah, my first computer was a Texas Instruments computer that took cartridges. So you kind of slid it up into the machine, kind of sideways, and you played whatever it was. TI Invaders was the Space Invader clone game, and what was the other one? Hunt the Wumpus, which was a very simple game where you're exploring a cave and you choose, and if you choose wrong, really all you're doing is like a 50-50 or a 1 in 3 or a 1 in 3 chance of walking into some sort of baddie, or the Wumpus, which was this monster that would send you back to the very beginning of the level. Similar to kind of has the same kind of feeling like Minesweeper, where you're kind of working through a puzzle. So we played the heck out of that. Then had Oregon Trail eventually. But yeah, that was our first machine, and then we were super happy when my dad bought us our first PC. It was like a 386 25 megahertz computer. Cutting edge 25 megahertz computer. Now that's good times. Anytime we needed to play a game, we had to create a boot disk for it because the thing had like no RAM. Yeah, we're probably pretty close. I'm right about just about the last year of Generation X. So if you're keen on when that was. Yeah, our second big PC purchase was a 486 66. And we thought it was awesome because it had a turbo boost button on the front, which I'm sure did nothing at all to actually increase the speed of the computer, but it felt good to press right before you started a game. Like, oh, this is a game, we're going to need all the power of this processor, so let's turn the turbo boost on. I'm sure it did nothing. Probably wasn't even connected. But again, fun experience. Then I was super excited in just about I think it was 7th or 8th grade, the school district we were in finally got email and an online BBS system where you could go and theoretically get help with homework from teachers who would be on, but they were never really on. And but mostly we used it for socializing. Being able to jump on the computer and chat with people was such a novel idea. Because normally, only real way to communicate with people would be the telephone. We're super excited about that. Email, electronic mail. It's the new big thing. Of course, introverts like myself, like, I can communicate with teachers and not have to go talk to them. It's glorious. Glory of glories. And this started a long tradition of dealing with problems without having to go have that conversation. You know, it's good times. Can this be handled over email? Yes, it can. I didn't make very many parent phone calls over the years, but I did sure send a lot of emails. Probably to my detriment, but few things more awkward than the parental phone call. Hi, you know what your kid did in class today? Whew. I had one phone call with a parent, and I called and said, you know what, your kid did this, this, and this in class today, and I'm really trying to find some answers. Do you have any input about ways that I could kind of motivate your kid to make better choices in class? And the parent actually responded. She said, he's worse at home. Good luck. And then she hung up on me. So I just sat there and laughed like, well, I'm totally screwed. He's worse at home. What do you mean he's worse at home? But the funniest part of that was when the kids that give you the most problems tend to look back on your class fondly. So I ran into this kid a few years later. Oh, Mr. MacFrog, I really enjoyed your class. We had fun. I learned so much. Like, you're the kid who refused to do any sort of work at all in class and caused nothing but trouble, right? Oh, no, I was just immature. I didn't know what I was doing, but your class was really cool. I learned a lot. Like, oh, okay, thanks. You know you tortured me for 9.5 months, right? Oh. No, there's a few times I ran into former students over the years where they kind of just look like completely different people, and you couldn't have predicted in the moment when the kid's doing the thing. You're like, your behavior is atrocious. You're driving me mad. You're never going to go anywhere in life. And then, sure enough, you run into him, and he's a senior. He's actually graduating. He's headed off to do firefighting training somewhere. Like, wow, you actually pulled your life together. That's awesome. Right? Go you. Spray that with the accelerator and then get these glued on. Yeah, good times. Probably the worst thing I ever did with those early computing days was my dad sprung for America Online, which was this online web portal service that could get you connected to the internet, but also they had their own walled garden environment with chat rooms and stuff. But they didn't do a super good job of delineating between what was a free chat room and what was a premium chat room. And there was a BattleTech premium chat room that I joined, and I didn't really know. I was 11, 12 at the time, didn't know the difference between the two. Like, figured, hey, he's paying for the service and things, that must be what it is. And ended up running just this ridiculous bill that month, and so I got yelled at. I didn't know what I was doing. It's like punished for something you had no idea you were doing wrong. That's always the worst. Like, sorry, I won't do it again. It's all right. My dad was a pretty good sport about it. As far as fathers go, I lucked out. I think I inherited his calm demeanor with parenting. I think that's been a good thing. I'm like, does it really do any good if I yell at you? No, let's figure it out. And he got me into computers and all that, so it's all good. He actually ran his own computer business, computer software business for years. Did pretty well. Put food on the table. Alright, it always feels good when you get the backpacks on. It feels like you actually accomplished something. I have 10 assault intercessors with backpacks, which is good. And the boss dude. Looking good. Not too shabby. Get a drink. Turbo. I'm telling you, a turbo button just feels good. They should bring the turbo button back. What a brilliant piece of marketing. Just give everything a turbo button. Who cares if it actually works? Just feels good. Alright, what to do next? Silver on the belt buckle. We need to do the piping on the helmet. That's all the same things. We'll do that. Not granite steel, but lead belcher. Shaker's the best when within combination with a little the ball you put in, the little stainless steel shaker balls, because they'll just go nuts under the mixer. Shake, 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 shake. All right, I think Artist Empire has his stream, and I was hoping to catch it. So I may end this one a little early because I don't want to overlap with his, because he's got his kind of usual Wednesday thing, and I don't want to step on toes. Let's see if he's started yet. No, not yet. Okay, so we got time. Does he even have this today? Where is it? Well, he hasn't even said anything, so I guess it must not be at the moment soon. At the moment. On its... It must not be imminent, I guess would be the word. Just finished work. Awesome. That's the best part of work, when it's finished. You're good to go. You're done. You're done. Keep mixing the done and the not dones together. Alright, belt buckles. Getting lead belcher. The piping on the helmet will get some lead belcher, but I'll use the smaller brush for that. A couple of these guys need their chainsaws painted. Chain swords, rather. Sorry. Eating dinner. Awesome. It is almost 11 a.m. here, so I'll probably go make some lunch soon. Let's do an hour. Do an hour stream. You got yours already. You don't have yours yet. So I'm deciding what to do next after this. I've got these Eternal Dynasty figures to paint. To have these guys to work on. But after that, probably need to do another set of battle mechs, because that's what's driving a lot of views to the channel. So probably need to do that. Not that it's a chore to paint battle mechs, because that's actually something I really enjoy doing. But other projects need to get done too. It's just not enough hours in the day. "15 projects and 1 project's worth of time." Alright, piping on helmets. Let's do that, and then we'll call it good. I might stream again later today, because it's like the only thing that can motivate me to really get these guys done. It's like, alright, if you're on stream, you have to be producing. You can't just sit there and get lost on Twitter. So I started you. You've got your piping already. You've got piping, you've got piping. You got it, you got it. You don't have it. Oh, the joys of haphazard batch painting. Like, what did I do on you? Get halfway through a task and then say you'll come back later and then forget about it. You got piping. You still need your tummy painted. Forgot that too. How many of these do I forget that on? 1. Yep. Forgot on you. Forgot on you. Forgot on you. Sheesh. Wow. I forgot it on most of them. Okay. Well, I got a lot of work to do. Gotta paint this, the midriff armor. Gotta respect the midriff. They don't skip their core day, those Space Marines. What's for lunch? We'll see. Footsteps upstairs. Somebody's out and about. Good old salamanders. It's hard to paint a bad salamander. I've seen bad ultramarines. I've seen really bad blood angels. Poorly painted blood angels. But don't see very many poorly painted salamanders. Maybe it's just because the painters care more. I'll start some drama. Ultramarines players don't care about their models. And that's how he died. vicious YouTube attack on Ultramarines players. I've had a lot of fun watching the chaos on Twitter over Twitch drama. Where it's always interesting, like, here, there's this really big fight between two people I've never heard of before over something that really doesn't matter, but they're doing it for attention. Like, oh, okay, that's neat. You guys get around to actually playing any video games on your Twitch channels? No? Okay. No. You're on for 4 hours and you've played 15 minutes of a game. That's some high quality entertainment. I don't understand it, but enjoy. You like it? Go for it. Alright, all of the bellies will be painted. Maximum midriff. Alright, so maybe we'll get these done today. Who knows? I'll have some lunch and come down and do the guns and chain swords that I still haven't done, and got a bunch of eye lenses that need painting, but they'll get done, and then it will hopefully look awesome, like our good friend here. By the time they're done. Gritty salamanders. Yeah, I do hop on Twitch, not as a... I have streamed there, but I only have like 19 subs, so it feels a little like I'm starting over again a little bit. Like spending so much time on YouTube stuff and then hopping over there and just nobody cares. But I'll watch other people's streams, and I sometimes have 2 or 3 open at the same time. Yeah, it feels like I have 2 or 3 open at the same time. All right, I think I'm gonna stop and go make some lunch, and hopefully won't be overlapping with Artist Empire's thing, because he's good people. So go check it out and chat there and be friendly. Thanks for coming out, Steven, and chatting with me. I appreciate it. It always makes this a little bit easier when you have someone to banter with. So I'll wrap things up. Hope your dinner was good. I'll see you later. Be awesome. Take care. Make the world a slightly better place today and tomorrow.